think we've covered all I wanted to cover about Joe Biden, but I do want to say one thing in closing. I want to say one thing here concerning the not praying. And while Bill texts and said, well, my Bible says pray for my enemies. And I get it, man. Look, I sin. I sin every day. And this is going to be one of my sins I have to ask for forgiveness for. I ain't praying for Joe Biden. I'm not doing it. You know, as a matter of fact, could you imagine for a second if the roles were reversed here? Oh, let's talk about that Democrat double standard that we talk about so much on this show. Could you imagine if Trump had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer that had spread to his bones, metastasized to his bones? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine the gleeful celebration that would be going on in left-wing circles? Now, I'm not celebrating Joe Biden having cancer. I'm just telling you, I'm not wasting a prayer on his recovery. There's a big difference there. I'm just living my life, dog. I'm not praying for him. I'm not pulling for his death. I'm not celebrating that he has cancer publicly. But think about this. Here's some of the things they did to Trump. They impeached him twice, stole an election from him, raided his house, tried to kick him off the ballot, tried to put him in jail for the rest of his life. And because of their rhetoric, there were 2 assassination attempts on him. Yeah, sorry if I don't give a damn if Joe Biden has cancer. Sorry if I refuse to waste a single prayer for Joe Biden. Because I feel like my conversations with the Lord count. I would be being disingenuous. I think that's the best way to say it. The Lord would know, God would know I was being disingenuous and lying if I asked for him to have grace on Joe Biden. I don't know any other way to say it. And I can't, as a man, sit there and knowingly lie to God and ask him to give grace to Joe Biden. I'd be lying. I'm not going to do it. Now, see, I think that's a big problem we have in society today. Is feeling like we have to say the right thing, not because we mean it, but because, quote unquote, it's just the right thing, Clay. You just got to do it. It's a societal norm. I mean, that's what's got us in the mess we're in with the black community. And the culture is nobody's wanted to say that there's a damn problem going on over there. Because they just want to be, you're supposed to be nice. You're not supposed to acknowledge that something's going on over there in that community. It's racist to point out the facts, the truth, the reality. That's what we don't do that here on the show. I don't do this in my real life. Like, this ain't just a show. This is Clay Edwards. You can drop the show part of it. This is just an extension of the rest of the other 22 hours of my day. It's called reality radio for a reason. It ain't just because it sounds neat in the intro. It is my reality. This is how I move. This is how I talk. This is how I act. This is who I am. It's an extension of who I am. It's me turned up to 11 for 2 hours. But there's nothing fake about it. This ain't a character I'm playing. This ain't Ric Flair living the gimmick. I am the gimmick, if that's the case. All right, well, we got to take a break. When we come back, ghetto fatigue, victim fatigue, the mom that fa-foed up in Senatobia and finally got to set a good example for her kids of what happens to you when you don't shut up and comply with the police. Oh, it's oh so sweet. It's oh so sweet. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the details. Let's see here. That
What
fell
is
flat.
this about?
What is it?
I'm just looking at this. Hinds County Circuit Court Judge Adrian Wooten ordered Fitch's office to recuse itself, saying it could not advocate for Walker's innocence in a civil suit.
Yeah, that's a little old. That's what we was about to start on there. There's been a big update there.
Okay.
All right, so the Goon Squad, not Goon Squad, I'm sorry. Everything Goon Squad. The Capitol Police.
Right.
The Jump Out Boys.
Yes.
Jump Out Boys case. Lynn Fitch has been quite the hypocrite.
Yes.
Here lately. Her office has. I mean, there's been no other way to say it. They're trying to defend these boys in one case on a civil case, but then they're trying to put them in jail on the same case on the criminal. So they had until, I think, yesterday, according to Wooten, to put a special prosecutor, to appoint a special prosecutor to the case. Well, lo and behold, the special prosecutor that they named is Lynn Carter, who, let's see here. On Monday, Attorney General Lynn Fitch told the court that Lynn Carter had been chosen to serve as prosecutor in the case against Jeffrey Walker and Michael Reinwald. Carter is the district attorney for the 12th Circuit District of Mississippi, which includes Forest and Perry counties. In a one-page notice to the court, Deputy Attorney General Lindsey Cranford says Fitch's office, quote, respectfully maintains its position against disqualification and reserves the right to seek further review, but has made the appointment to ensure a prompt resolution to the case. But wait, there's more. Cranford's husband, Clay Cranford, good solid guy, solid name, is an assistant district attorney in that office. Can you say conflict of interest?
Yes.
And I have been told that a motion has been filed over the conflict of interest. And this is basically this is basically the Attorney General's office spitting in the face of Adrian Wooten.
Right. Why?
Which, I mean, I have no problem with that.
My
I would spit in
question is,
Adrian
if
Wooten's
you're going to
face
show up
too.
to court, why wouldn't you go and know that these things, well, unless it's just a strategy for more delay till they kick it down the road and don't do anything with it. I mean, that's kind of the
Well, I mean, if you're Reinwald and Walker, I mean, yes, you hope nothing comes from it, obviously. But the mental stress, the money it's costing. I mean, this guy's going to be, I mean, I don't know the money, income, but I'm going to guess this is the kind of thing that bankrupts you.
Well,
even if it doesn't send you to prison, it bankrupts you.
In a federal case, usually to hire someone, they won't even look at it until it's $50,000 is put down.
Well, this is the state stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the state stuff, but they're being prosecuted.
There is some federal stuff too.
But they have to have.
I'm not as fluent on that.
They've got to have their own lawyers.
Yeah. So anyway, this is getting very expensive. And we should be doing a fundraiser for these guys if they need it, because these guys went in, they tried to save Jackson,
right,
and they've now had the system turn their backs and stab them in the back.
And and you got to understand, even when you get elected into office as a council person, people will stab you in the back over any little thing you don't do right, and there's just too many decisions to make. We have weaponized the government to a level to where everybody gets sued, and the people that are supposed to back you disappear. Like, for instance, Lynn Fitch should be behind the badge all the way.
100%.
Never against it.
Hold that thought. Let's take a break. Stay on schedule here. When we come back, I want to pick this up, and I hadn't had a chance to talk about this with you, but politically, I think Lynn is committing suicide.
Oh yeah,
going after if she plans on, frankly, regardless of what she plans on doing, I don't think she's going to be able to keep her currency, because I think Sean Tyndall's going to run and win.
Right.
And then if she decides to try to run for governor, doing what? Putting on a red dress and hoping that works?
Well, because she gets X amount of red. I mean, her signs last time only said Lynn Fitch on them. Didn't say what office she ran for. Me and somebody else had a
conversation about that the other day. It says Lynn Fitch from Mississippi or something.
Yeah.
Like, no, you got to be a little more specific.
But
and look, and I love that. Look, she's got some people in her office I absolutely adore.
Right.
But that don't mean I can't hold her accountable and be critical of her.
Those other people just have a job.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, 100%. I can compartmentalize.
Right.
Let's take a break. When we come back, let's talk about Lynn's chance at governor. Let's talk about the upcoming governor race and who were some people that we think got a shot at it. Our friend Shad White
is
keeps
winning every
these straw polls.
Every straw poll.
You know, Philip Gunn coming out of retirement. Could he make an impact? We got Gerard Gibbert's talking about it. You know, there's some others. Let's bounce some names around. Andy Gibson. And more. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show with Chip Matthews. Let's jump into it. You're in the group text that I'm in this morning.
I was on the air.
Yes. Downtown Dickie Scruggs decided to take a shot at a innocent, pretty little Republican blonde that is now, I guess, the executive director over there.
Yes,
Who did she replace? Somebody under Rance?
I don't know who no, Rance is still there.
No, I know Rance. I said under Rance.
Yeah. But she's there now, and I don't know why he wants to attack her. I mean, it reeks of I don't know what.
I'm pulling up X here. This was not on my show prep, but somebody in our group text, our station DJ or host group text brought it up. So what's the big deal here? I was like, well, it's just Dickie apparently looking for attention, and unfortunately, it should have been ignored by all parties involved.
Yes,
but it was not. It is now out there in the ether. The GOP responded to it, and I love Leslie, and Leslie responded to it.
Well, my way of looking at it,
and I guess they need to, but I would have ignored it and not given him the attention.
Well, this may be her first rabbit hole.
Yeah,
I mean, because the rabbit hole of when you learn that people are going to attack you. You know, the first time you say, well, I've got an easy excuse. I can explain. And all you do is go deeper, deeper, deeper. And eventually you get to where you're immune to the Facebook rabbit hole. But I think that's what has happened here is too many people have chimed in, and they're worried about what people say on Facebook, which I'm going to tell you right now, that's the last people you need to worry about.
Yeah, so here's the announcement of the girl being hired. Or brought on to the team.
Right.
It says the MSGOP is excited to have Renee Dye join our team as executive assistant for the Mississippi Republican Party. She will help support executive leadership, coordinate key events, and assist in managing the party's day-to-day operations. A recent graduate of the University of Mississippi. Well, there's one strike against her.
No.
Now Dickie going after his own, right? Isn't he a big Ole Miss guy? Going after a fellow hotty toddy?
Yeah.
Can't you get kicked out of the ranks for that?
Yes.
Well, it is the Liberal Arts College of Mississippi, so there's that.
Okay.
Renee earned a degree in integrated marketing communications with a minor in business. While at Ole Miss, she was an active member of the National Society of Leadership and Success Phi Mu sorority and served on the Student Alumni Council in 2022. Probably joined the MSGOP. None of that really matters. Let's just be honest here. Pretty little blonde chick. Now,
my question to
looks like she should be on the desk at Fox News, and that's a compliment, by the way. And somewhere along the lines, Dickie Scruggs chimed in, and that's what I was looking for. I guess the MSGOP didn't respond from their page. Let's find Rance's page here. I think he responded.
He described her in a way that would be, you don't like women, do you, Dickie? Good-looking women. But, the truth of the matter is she kin to the Brad Dye family?
I don't know.
I wondered about that. Because he was a Democrat?
Don't get me to line.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm loosely familiar with who Brad Dye is.
He was the vice president, lieutenant governor for years here in Mississippi.
I got you. That's before my time of really caring. Anyway, so Dickie made some smart ass comment, about. Oh, that's what they needed, another pretty blonde or something like that. And, it just seems like low. She's 22 years old. My daughter's 23. So I look at this from the perspective of you're a grown-ass man taking a shot at a young girl, a kid still. You get their first big job in politics. You ain't got anything better to do, old man.
No kidding. Well, I guess he's not in prison anymore.
Yeah. I wish I could find Leslie's statement here.
I'm going to look for it. I think I have it. That would be on the.
Because all I got here is a screenshot. No. I got the post here. All right, here's Leslie.
Okay.
Leslie Davis is with the MSGOP. She's the vice chair of the MSGOP and RNC National Committee woman. She goes, I stand with my MSGOP colleague, Renee Dye, and for all strong Mississippi women against cheap sexist attacks. Here's the part I love. Here's why I love Leslie, and we're efforting getting Leslie on the show on a consistent basis here. Says, imagine being a billionaire, a convicted felon, a washed-up Democrat disbarred trial lawyer for giving bribes to a judge, no less, and still finding the time to get online, mock a 22-year-old young woman from New Hope, Mississippi, my beloved rural hometown. Renee Dye didn't grow up in gated communities or go to elite prep schools. She graduated from a rural public high school like I did and has just earned her college degree. She is smart, humble, hardworking, kind, and proud of her conservative values. Now she's chosen to serve her state, her party, and her country, and that apparently makes her a threat to Dickie Scruggs. This is who Dickie attempts to bully. Calling a young woman toothy and reducing her to her hair color isn't just sexist, it's pathetic, but coming from a man who built his empire suing people, bribing judges, and buying influence as a Democrat megadonor, it tracks. It's disgusting, it's sexist, and it's exactly what we've come to expect from a race-baiting relic who spent a lifetime dividing Mississippians for profit and power. Dickie, you may see Renee as a punchline, but we see her as the future. We'll take 100 more young women like Renee, no matter hair or skin color, bright, strong, grounded, good-hearted, principled, and not for sale. So here's a screenshot of what Dickie said.
Yeah.
Dickie had replied to the original post from the MSGOP and said, just what the Republican Party needs. Another toothy, blonde white girl. And he spelled blonde wrong. Blonde has an E on the end, doesn't it?
Blonde?
Blonde. Doesn't blonde have an E on the end?
N-D?
I thought it had an E on the end.
Maybe.
It does in South Jackson.
Well, it does in France. But anyway.
Blonde.
Okay, and I'm looking at this that's put up. The National, it's a post for, I guess this is Mike Hirsch, which I saw him out last night speaking of nukes. I saw him at Nukes last night. He was speaking at the Republican Leadership Conference or something in Rankin County. But with Democrats pouring millions into our state in an attempt to turn Mississippi blue, we must remain vigilant. And it's fired up and focused, a big week for Mississippi Republicans this week. And that's true. We're getting ready for an election. We're 14 days away.
I'm going to tell you, I'm a big Mike Hirsch fan. I'm actually a big fan of everybody that's running the MSGOP right now.
Yes.
Now, the national GOP, it's gotten better. The Mississippi GOP, I'm a big fan of everybody down there right now. I love Mike Hirsch.
Yep.
Celeste Hurst and Mike have been very good to me.
Right.
I know that, kind of being anti-establishment, it goes against a little bit of, it goes against some of what the things I believe in. But I do treat people on how they treat me personally.
Right.
And while I may not agree with everything that the Mississippi GOP as a whole has done, I don't necessarily agree with welcoming all those Democrats in recently.
Right.
Personally. But whatever. And, I'm not the decision maker there. But I treat people how they treat me, and they've all treated me like I've been one of them for a long time. Just like family, that's what I'm trying to say here. Well, so until that changes, and until I feel slighted or disrespected or like what the Mississippi Mud Monsters did to me,
right,
or something like that, that's a joke. I'll continue to treat them the same way they treat me. And I know that a lot of conservatives in this state have had a big problem with the GOP. And again, I can compartmentalize the people
versus the issues,
versus the establishment,
right? And
the people are rock solid human beings, and I stand with them.
Well, I saw on a MSNBC the second in command of the Democratic National Party where he's talking about primarying all the older Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
An explanation came out that made sense to me for the first time of what goes on why you would take in the 10 R's that we took in from the Democratic side to the Republican side. And the goal is, if you're the GOP, your job is to fill in all this. Every county needs to be an R on your map. And so that's their goal in moving them over. It really isn't about the politics of that person. It's about, let me move you over and you do some of the things for us, and we'll know that you're the swing vote for us, and we'll get you some money. And that's what it's all about. It's all about money.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. If you want to chime in this morning, the Mazda Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. We are live in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. It's Clay Edwards. It's Chip Matthews.
Yeah.
Chip will be here all day.
Yes, I will.
Chip will be filling in for Jameson today, so you get a lot of Chip this morning. He is our full-time host, 6A to 7A, right here on WYAB as well. So if you hadn't been turning your radio on until 7, start cutting it on at 6. We'll be right back. Anyway, so let's some of my notes here, Chip.
Okay.
I had just a crash course of a segment. I mean, I was like a crash test dummy in here. It went to hell in a handbasket. I broke the headphones,
Right.
everything, all in one fell swoop. But I was trying to talk about Shaniqua or something like that. Just ghetto, hood rat, typical, perfect example of why people are fatigued with a certain demographic of people. I don't like the term black fatigue because I don't like throwing the baby out with the bathwater
Right.
with that term. But I do like the term victim fatigue
Right.
or ghetto fatigue.
Okay.
And I think it's a perfect example of why people are fatigued with constant victims
Right.
and people who are ghetto and ratchet. And the lady up in Senatobia, Mississippi was parked in a handicap. Her kids were improperly strapped in.
Right.
The law enforcement officer, a white lady, says there's no way that anybody got out of this car.
Right.
Based on the amount of junk that was in the car, there was nobody that could have got out of the car.
Right.
So there wasn't no grandmother in the
Right.
store as she had originally stated.
Right.
She did have a handicap placard, but it's not hers.
Right.
And she's sitting in the car. Anyway, she was asked to move. She's like, I'll move. And she wasn't asked to move. She was asked to, let me see your license. She goes, I'll move. She goes, no, I didn't ask you to move. I asked for your license. And long story short, typical of what they like to do, argue on the side of the road, argue about everything, not comply. It escalated into her getting her butt drug out of the car, arrested, handcuffed in front of her kids, and all of that. And, of course, social media's kind of torn on it. Some people, even conservatives, like I just got almost 400,000 views on my X account.
Right.
And I have tons of thousands of comments, and I was reading through them yesterday. And even a lot of people who are MAGA representative, MAGA adjacent, are like, they should have just let her move. They should have just let her move. Well, they probably would have had she just complied
Right.
initially. It probably would have just let her move.
Right.
But the minute she chose not to comply, it doesn't matter what the original offense was.
Right.
You know, Chip, as I talk about this all the time with these high-speed pursuits that everybody gets their panties in such a bunch about. Oh, my God, that was a high-speed pursuit. People could have got killed. It was all over an expired tag. No, it was not over an expired tag. It was because Pookie or whoever decided to run from the police.
Correct.
And it wasn't, and it always, it's never, ever, ever an expired tag by the end of the wreck.
Right.
It's felon in possession of a firearm that was running around with an expired tag. Felon riding dirty
Right.
with a expired tag. Or just some dope boy riding dirty with an expired tag because you're too stupid to go get your new tag or to make sure your tag's not expired and you're riding dirty, suspended license, whatever the case may be. And then you're just like, oh, I'll just try to outrun the police and I won't have to deal with this.
Well, it's like
when's the last time anybody successfully outran the cops other than Jen Jackson?
in the 70s, and we had a few. But
Yeah.
the reality is this. I mean, if you are asked for your license and you don't give it, at that moment, everybody knows that you know that you're in violation of the law.
Yep.
And so your next exit is the exit, whether you're going to run. And like in the case of this lady, she knew she was wrong to park there. If you say you want to move now, you know you were wrong. I get frustrated by people that park in handicap spots and and even the one that says first responders at the Walmart and stuff. I hate to see anybody parking where they shouldn't park when those parts are delegated to other people. And then the fine on a parking in a handicap is $300 to $500. I mean, that's good money for a city. Only take a few of those, we can fix a pothole.
Yeah, hold on. We got somebody on call.
Okay.
Mazda Jackson. Hey, who's this? They hung up on us. All right, yeah, man, look, it's absolutely asinine.
Right.
And people want to continue to make excuses. So I love it. I love that it happened. It happened on Mother's Day, which makes it even sweeter.
Right.
And she, if y'all weren't listening last week, she got to make, and I would play the video, but it's got way too much cussing in it from the cop and the lady. Those little future astronauts in the back seat finally got Mama to teach them a good lesson, a lesson of when to shut the F up and comply when the police are there, because you don't get to talk your way out of it. And I loved it.
And those kids need to be strapped down in the seat and this, that, and the other, and they don't do it and they don't keep up with it.
All right, let's take a call. All right, hey, you're on there.
Clay Edwards.
Don't know who that is. I ain't gonna say. They're trying to catch me hot.
Oh,
I ain't doing it.
Okay.
They too persistent calling in.
Call out the name when they get on.
Yeah, nothing. I don't like it. Somebody trying to squeeze something by me.
Yep.
On the radio. We ain't doing it. The Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. We got to take a break real quick. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Caller, if you got something to say, you can text it to me. 769-241-1944 is the Guns and Gear text line. All right, man, I want to talk about something real quick because I keep putting it off.
Okay.
I keep putting it off. And my buddy here, Barbershop Bob, watching on YouTube, mentioned it. The Angel Reese stuff, the WNBA.
Yeah.
Angel Reese is mad. She a hater.
Yeah.
She's mad that Caitlin Clark's getting all the attention.
Right.
She thinks that she should be getting that attention. And she's mad that she's the villain. Well, she painted herself the villain coming out of college and was the villain, and she plays the villain role whether she wants to or not, but she doesn't want to be the villain. She wants to be the superstar.
Right.
She's not. She ain't the Magic Johnson to Larry Bird in this deal.
Or Michael Jordan.
She's not that talented to begin with.
Right.
She's a good rebounder. But, look at the look, she ain't a good scorer. She's not a good offensive player. She's a good rebounder. And look, that's great. She'll have a nice career, playing fourth, fifth fiddle to Caitlin Clark whenever they play. She got a hard foul in the game the other day, a flagrant called on Caitlin because they got to, white girl, they got to do it.
You're open to the
be
ballot.
Racist if they didn't.
Open to the basket.
Yeah, WNBA be racist if they didn't call flagrant on Caitlin. And during the melee, during the free throws, they said somebody made a monkey sound. Now, Chip, I want you to think about this.
Okay.
Do you really think? First off, I think WNBA fans probably aren't a bunch of drunk frat boys.
Right.
I'm just going out on a limb here.
Right.
They're probably not a bunch of drunk frat boys.
Right.
I don't think they're making racist sounds to a player on another team when the overwhelming majority of their team is black.
Right.
Because I don't think the black girls on their team are going to tolerate monkey sounds to another girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't the flex you think it is if you're doing that.
Right.
Like, does that make sense?
Yes.
Like there's as a fan, you're not going to win doing monkey sounds to a black girl or WNBA game, or frankly anywhere else for that matter, but we're talking about this in particular.
Right.
All right, so let me ask you this. The people who can sit close enough at these pro sporting events, if somebody made a monkey sound, do you not think that somebody else would call them out?
Oh, quickly.
I mean, like, 100%. Hey, this person right here is the one making the monkey sound.
If someone was doing something racist, or if someone was doing something that would be constructed as ready to fight, I would think a referee would pick that up and turn around and say, hey, they got to get out.
I would, in a heartbeat, snitch somebody out for making monkey sounds if they were sitting around me.
To me, what demonstrates a monkey sound in an arena full of people?
And let me ask this: why do blacks think that somehow exclusively monkey sounds means stuff about them?
Exactly.
I thought we were all kind of like. I mean, if you look at evolution, didn't we all come from monkeys? Allegedly.
No, that's one view.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't believe in evolution.
Okay. I don't either.
I mean, just honestly, we're aliens. We're not from here. We're not evolution. We evolved, yes, but we didn't evolve from a shrimp to a tadpole to a fish to an ape. It didn't happen.
No.
I don't believe in evolution, but that should come as no surprise to anybody. I've got a clip of the sound here.
And what is the monkey sound? Ooh, 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 ooh.
Do I?
What's a monkey sound?
Well, this sound, if I heard it, monkey sound is not the first thing that would have come to mind.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up here. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay. But this goes back to what I said about victim fatigue. People are tired of this crap, man.
I mean, you go to South, you just see it
froze up.
constantly. You see all the blight in Jackson. And I see Channel 3's doing all their blight report. And I'm going, the blight's been there all along. So you show more evil news in order to support your candidate? Is that what their plan is? I mean,
All right, let's listen to this. This is the so-called
monkey sound.
monkey sound. You really got to be listening here. I'm gonna turn it up kind of loud.
It's a flagrant. And then Chicago will maintain the basketball.
All right, y'all hear it right there? It's kind of with that bell. Listen again.
That was something made by an electronic thing. That, to me, sounds like it was being played over the PA.
So they're saying that
I mean,
froze up here.
I mean, I don't.
The interwebs
But
are
I
acting
mean-
up. Let's see. Hold on.
Sounded like a jammed up CD.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, the internet's acting up here, so it's not playing. But you heard it.
Yeah.
And it is not. That is not anything that remotely sounds like anything that I would construe as
I mean,
a.
she was shooting free throws, and did she make them?
Did she, I don't. Hell, they lost by 30-something points.
I know, but did she?
I mean, it wasn't. I don't know.
If you don't make your free throws, you got to have an excuse, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. here.
Yeah, I guess they're tired of blaming Trump.
I just think the whole thing is people are just fed up, and it's stuff like this.
Sick and tired of sick and tired, and sick and tired of looking at blight. Sick and tired of listening to everybody that shows up is arguing and complaining, and they don't want to do nothing to fix it.
Blame somebody else. People are just fed up. People are fed up with this culture. People are fed up with not being able to go to gas stations without worrying about getting shot in and around these cities. People are worried about, and not even that, like going to Mexican restaurants, going to these all-you-can-eat crab leg places. I mean, I should be able to go eat crab legs without having to worry about it turning into a twerk fest or a couple black girls shooting each other in the bathroom or a brawl at a Mexican restaurant. I mean, why can't, what is it with this culture that these folks just can't act right?
And then these waiters look at these crowds coming in, and they don't want to wait on them. That's why you see these restaurants like the crab restaurants and all that, who charge an automatic 10 and 15 cent gratuity on their meal regardless. And then they're going to argue about it on the way out. And there's a big giant sign saying they're charging it.
Yeah.
I think you should just build it in your price. But
but they do. I mean, at 105, we did. And
I know that.
We just had to pay. We just had to pay our bartenders. We have 1,000 people in there, and between that 1,000 people, that'd be about $100 in tips, and that ain't a lie.
No, and there's a sign that says, and most of these restaurants now that say, we charge 15 cents per gratuity on everything.
Now,
and even to-go orders.
I mean, look, it's just people can get offended at that because anytime you bring it up, you're never around the black person that doesn't tip. No, I tip. Anytime this gets brought up, I'm not one of the ones that don't tip. Okay, well, maybe somebody ain't doing it because it is a well-known thing for anybody that's ever been in the service industry that the black crowd just don't tip. Now, what I did learn is they will pay whatever.
Right.
Like, it's this weird thing where white folks want to Jew you down on everything. Am I allowed to say that? Is that a racist term?
You can say it's
Can I
racial,
say
but
Jew
you
you
can
down?
say it.
So white
natural.
folks want to Jew you down on everything. Black folks will overpay for whatever, but they ain't gonna tip.
Right.
Generally speaking,
Correct.
it's just this weird. And again, I know some do. I get it, and some white folks don't Jew you down.
Right.
But if you've ever owned an establishment that catered to majority, a service industry establishment that catered to majority black folks, your servers make less.
I want a beer. I got $2. Well, then you don't have enough money.
And it just is what it is. But WNBA, they've now got multiple white girls they've drafted in the last few years that are selling out season tickets in advance for their teams. You got Caitlin Clark. You've got this other girl, Paige something or another, that got drafted to Dallas.
Right.
And what you're seeing with that is you're seeing the WNBA slowly pivot away, and they're going to start drafting these European and American-born Caucasians because they are fed up with dealing with the angry black woman that has had the league losing millions of dollars every year for the last 20 years.
And if you'll notice that even in the NBA, they now have a new contract with NBC. Their color commentator is Michael Jordan. I mean, they're pivoting too.
Yeah, they're fed up. We got to take this last break. We'll be right back. Online, don't go nowhere. We're going to hang out with y'all for just a second. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, here live on WYAB, broadcasting in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Be sure to text Clay to 601-327-8550 for your complimentary testosterone screening. That's for the fellas out there. Women, you're looking to lose some weight, can't afford to get Ozempic, stuff's expensive. Have you considered compounded semaglutide? Men, goes for you as well. They got it out there at either clinic, the Men's Health or the Women's Wellness. They can get you hooked up. Just text my name, Clay, to 601-327-8550. That'll give you a prompt there. Are you calling about testosterone? Or are you informing about weight loss? And they will direct you in the right direction. It's just that simple. And hear what they got to offer. It doesn't cost you anything for a consultation or the screening for testosterone. It's compliments of the Clay Edwards Show. Again, text Clay to 601-327-8550. All right. Donald J. Trump. My man. Trump absolutely torches black South African racist president, a true black Hitler. And the mainstream media calls his claims unfounded. Unfounded. They're literally, if Democrats love the word literally, they're literally genociding white people over there in South Africa. And they have been for the last 30 years. I think we got the video here of Trump torching. Now, if you're on the radio, just going to have to bear with it, and you're just getting the audio. But if you're watching online, you're going to get the full Monty. You're going to get the full Monty here of the whole thing. And it's like Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. It's a big, beautiful video. It just truly is. It's 4 minutes long. We're not going to play the whole thing, I promise. But it's a big, beautiful video. And it just proves the point that we're constantly trying to make. There's only one group of racists running around here, and they don't look like me. And they've been getting away with it for a long time. And now the fatigue has set in. People are tired of it, and it's being called out at the highest levels of government. And that is the Oval Office. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Yesterday was a bad day to be a racist, wasn't it? Oh, it was a bad day to be a racist yesterday. As Donald Trump came in like a wrecking ball. Did I do good? Was that good? Let's listen to this. This is Trump with South African president, whatever his name is, in the Oval Office. Trump has rolled in a big screen TV, and he's getting him to look at it, and he thinks, oh, this is going to be great. It's a big, beautiful TV. It's going to be how great I'm doing. It's called the setup.
Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you.
Smiling.
Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do.
It was at this moment right here, he knew he had effed up.
Without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. So whatever you want to do, can we drop my membership from this useless parliament? Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill. a revolution demand that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill, Gaza, kill the poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer,
the man of D-Day in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashama and Suri will not be touched. They will be touched. No one. But we're starting with this white.
Now, admittedly, I don't speak Swahili or Zulu or whatever it is he's saying over there, but he's clearly saying something about kill Whitey.
We're cutting the throat of one person.
See, they even got a little TikTok dance they do when they talk about killing white people. Now, the guy he's got on the screen dancing, and I know the radio guys, y'all can't see this, but it's the guy that's in the office dancing on stage in front of about 75,000 black folks in a soccer stadium, dancing and chanting about kill white people. But I don't know what doesn't happen. These are unfounded reports. Unfounded. This is why nobody trusts the effing mainstream media. I'm predicting, it won't be because I did it. I'm predicting before this is all said and done, there will be blood in the streets of America. And it will not surprise me at all if it is that of members of the mainstream media, because people have had enough of their divisiveness.
I'm saying to you, was not called for the killing of white people, at least for now.
At least for now.
You understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal.
So it says we're going to shoot them with our machine guns. They are going to run. We are going to shoot them. They are going to run.
We will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek a refugee in America.
No, this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving. They're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who's killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, if the Democrats had their way, you would have saw something like it here in America, because they were dang sure coming for us next. And they ain't even hiding it. What they did in South Africa was a test run for what they wanted to do here in America.
Sides of the road, you have crosses.
Absolutely epic. That's my president. That's like Terrell Owens crying about, what's his name? The quarterback before Dak, Tony Romo. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. That's my president. That's my president. That's what I voted for. That's what I voted for. Make America great. Woo! We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. I got more of it. We got more video. We got more what you call evidence. We're going to roast the mainstream media, probably the rest of the first hour. Unfounded. Trump's unfounded claims. What the? We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB. Had a little technical difficulty there, flipping things back on. I think I got it all going. I'm trying to do a lot here during the break, man. I'm telling you, one day your boy's going to be able to afford a producer. And it may be sooner rather than later, and I may not just afford it. I may just figure out a way to make it happen so I can let somebody else play with all these buttons and computers and that, and I can focus on giving you guys the best show possible that doesn't involve me having to be like running a 3-ring circus here. Hey, quick programming note. Chris Hinkle, the FBI agent on the wall, the Fed on the wall, retired FBI agent Chris Hinkle. Y'all know who Chris is. I don't have to introduce y'all to him anymore. If you listen to WYAB, he's co-hosted several or guest hosted for Jameson Haygood several times, Kim and others. Been a guest on multiple shows. He's going to be filling in for Jameson today from 10 to, it says 11 to 1. Oh, no, from 10 to noon Central Time, our time. He'll be filling in for Jameson, and his special guest today is, where's the name at? His special guest today is a retired FBI executive, Chris Pihota. Did I get that right? Pihota. Chris Pihota is Chris Hinkle's guest today. And, I'm sorry, there's two people. Include retired FBI Executive Assistant Director Chris Pihota and retired FBI Special Agent Kim George. Sorry, I didn't see the whole tweet there. But anyway, should be very interesting. 3 former FBI employees on one show for 2 hours. They'll be discussing plenty that you guys may find interesting. Chris is on our side. He is very wide awake and aware of what's going on with the FBI and has been going on. I'm very interested to get their opinions on the job Kash Patel is doing. Dan Bongino, what are they hearing? What's the rumblings inside the department? How are the agents, boots on ground agents, taking the new leadership? Not the woke ones, of course, but the ones that actually are proud to be feds and actually want to, save America, protect America. So should be a good show. Y'all tune in today, 10 to noon, right here as Chris Hinkle fills in for Jameson Haygood on the good show, on the good fight. And I just want to say this one more time real quick. Really going to miss Jameson here at WYAB. Truly going to miss Jameson. Of course, always talk to him every day, I hope, but just hearing him on the radio, and what I hope to happen is Jameson go out, and he's very successful at what he does, and he realizes that he misses this and somehow gets back involved, maybe via a podcast or something of that nature, or maybe a more limited role here at WYAB. But you hate to lose a voice and a true fighter like Jameson. So, but in the meantime, his replacement, Andrew Gassar, will start, I think, 1st of May. 1st of June, Andrew Gasser. I say it wrong every time. Andrew Gasser will start 1st of June. So stay tuned for that. All right, man, let's jump back into this. We are talking about the mainstream media having the audacity to call these Trump's claims unfounded about the genocide of white people and white farmers in South Africa. So, we got the receipts here, dog. You didn't think we brought receipts? We got them. Let's see here. Should I read the ABC article first and just kind of tell you what they said? I guess so. Let me pull it up here real quick. Dun-dun-dun. I got the videos ready to roll, so we won't have to wait on that. Come on. All right, ABC News. Trump confronts South African president in Oval Office, pushes false claims of white genocide. Brother, I'm going to tell you what, I personally have a white friend here, a white South African friend here in Jackson, Mississippi. He's one of Sean's best friends, if not best friend, Renee. And Renee had to come over here in the mid-90s, and I don't want to speak for him, but I believe it was to escape the post-apartheid stuff that's going on now, where they started killing Whitey. I believe that is why he's here now. I told Sean yesterday, I said, man, you're missing a great opportunity to have Renee on and have a really good conversation with him about that. I said, I would tune in. I would love to hear what Renee had to say about that. But the article here real quick, we ain't going to read all of it. The headline's probably enough. But it says, President Donald Trump and South African President, whoever his name is, engaged in a tense back and forth at the White House on Wednesday over Trump's false claims of genocide against white South African farmers. In a rare scene in the Oval Office, Trump had the lights dimmed to play videos on a TV monitor he said supported his allegations. Ramaphosa appeared surprised at the ambush and at times said he hadn't seen what was being aired. The sourcing of the videos played remain unknown. South Africa's president spokesperson, Vincent something, later told ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang it was a poor compilation of old videos and a complete lie. Videos don't lie. These things have been floating around forever. They don't lie. These predate AI. Trump also held what he said were news articles about violent attacks against white Afrikaner farmers. Quote, I don't know all of these articles over the last few days. Death to people, death, horrible death, Trump said. Trump claimed white South Africans were fleeing because of the violence and the racist laws. This is sort of the opposite of apartheid. What's happening now is never reported. Nobody knows about it, he added. Ramaphosa pushed back, saying the clips of speeches Trump's played is not government policy. He and other members of the South African delegation said the speakers and their views were part of extremist fringe political groups. There's criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, though criminal activity are not only white people, majority of them are black people, Ramaphosa said. How do you mean the majority of the crime in South Africa is black on black? Paint me shocked. The South African leader said it would take Trump listening to the voices of South Africans to change his view. The South African government has vehemently disputed accusations of genocide. I would say, and we're going to end it with this paragraph, so I would say if there was Afrikaner farmers genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture, Ramaphosa said. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. Later Wednesday, Ramaphosa told reporters, there is no genocide in South Africa. Guys, I promise this is not me butchering reading this. This is how this is written. You know, sometimes reporters, like they did with Joe Biden the last 4 years, they will take liberties in cleaning up language issues and speaking issues and mistakes just for the sake of an easier to read article. You know, they did that with Joe Biden. So everybody wouldn't know that he was ate up with Alzheimer's and dementia. But they're not doing it for the South African guy. So I'm having to read this in broken English. But it's not me with the broken English. Anyway, let me run it back. We got, like I said, we got the receipts. We got the receipts. Here we go. Let's start here. Again, this is courtesy of Libs of TikTok. It's about 30 seconds. What they call unfounded. The fact that, like, I just thought it was common knowledge. I know very little about South African politics, but even I knew there was white genocide over there. Post-apartheid.
The mayor of DA in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
That sounds pretty genocidal to me. I'm not a genocide expert. Well, let's try this one here. Let's try this one. Here's some more unfounded proof of what Trump claimed in the White House.
For each one person that is being killed by the taxi industry, we'll get 5 white people. For every one black person.
I'm pretty sure you're saying kill 5 white people.
We'll kill 5 white people. You kill one of us, we'll kill 5 of you. We'll kill the children, we'll kill the women, we'll kill anything that we...
He said we'll kill their children, we'll kill their women, you kill one of us, we'll kill 5 of you.
Find on our way. They kill one of us, we kill how many? They kill one of us, we kill how many? They kill one of us, we kill how many whites? We kill the children, we kill the women, we kill their dogs, we kill their cats, we kill anything that comes.
That sounds pretty clear and obvious to me what he's saying there. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? That was my president. Again, that's what I voted for. Big MAGA energy. Big MAGA energy. Coming at you hard in the 7 o'clock hour this morning. Love it. Let's check out the Guns and Gear text line real quick. Unknown texture says, any chance you can mention the meetup cruise for Bowie's funeral? Yes. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I made a mental note last night and forgot to make a physical note. Let me mention that real quick. I'll tell you what. Let me mention it during at the top of the next segment. And, so I'm not tied in with all this. All right, let's take a break real quick. We'll be right back to land the plane for hour 1. We got a lot more to go. There's been a hate crime in Mississippi. A hate crime. A white man was lynched in a black bar a couple days ago. But was it more of a case of FAFO? I report, I decide. We'll be right back. Welcome back in.